Joe.
You predicted it for a while.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt you. With your advisor, I took the commission to call MDZ. Told me, according to us, the Saudis can increase a little bit, but 150 or a little bit more, and they don't have huge capacities.
Here, maybe we should just step inside.
Okay.
Too late.
Maybe we should step inside and not talk about this in front of the cameras.
Yeah, we don't actually want the American people to know the truth, but it's amazing to me something as fundamental and rudimentary as can the Saudis pump more oil is something that has to be whispered at the G7. Here to react, House Minority Whip, who hopes to be in the majority soon, Congressman Steve Scalise. Congressman, what about that exchange stands out?
Well, number one, it tells you that this idea of going to Saudi or any other country for a bailout on gas prices is not going to happen. The answer is right here in America. We have enough energy to increase capacity.
Why did he have to get briefed by the French president to know that?
Yeah,
he couldn't have texted the prince?
Obviously, the people that are advising him, they've been wrong on everything. They're the people that said, oh, don't worry, if you leave in Afghanistan, the Taliban's not going to take it over. 48 hours later, they had it. They also said Kyiv's going to fall to Russia in a matter of days. And look at what Zelensky and the people of Ukraine are doing to push Russia away. They've been wrong on everything. They're wrong on energy, but they're just anti-American energy. And so that's why people are paying $5 a gallon. It should be less than $2, and it was less than $2 just a few years ago.
I'm horrified that the president wouldn't know that stuff because, you know, we spend trillions of dollars, it seems like, on intel, and yet what he said was, you know, the Saudis, the UAE, they're maxed out. Kind of like our refineries are in this country right now. The president suddenly is surprised by that. He should know before. Why is he going to Saudi Arabia where they're going to say no if we already knew it?
And by the way, what's the carbon footprint of Joe Biden's trip? You know, Air Force One data, they don't have solar panels on the wings. 5,700 miles to go beg a foreign country to do something they're not going to be able to do. They don't have the capacity to do when we've got the energy here, but it's shut down because of Joe Biden's policies. People know that. He should know it, too. He should fire his advisors if they're giving him bad advice. But the problem is he's the one who put these policies in place that have shut off production in America. So he's got to fly Air Force One all over the world, burning jet fuel to beg people to produce oil that they're not going to produce for us.
Yeah, didn't John Kerry say, well, I have to fly privately. I have to do this when
they want to live by a different set of rules than us, Ainsley.
Right. What's happening behind the scenes as far as gas prices are concerned? Or do the Democrats even care about this, or do they just want it to continue to go up so that we all buy electric cars that we can't afford?
Yeah, and they're all on record over the last few years saying they want higher gas prices. Biden, as a candidate, said he wanted to shut down and bankrupt the fossil fuel industry. They don't want to drill in America. That was another quote by Biden as a candidate. You know, we're going to end drilling in America, and he's done it. And now we see the price. Families are paying the price at the pump. It's painful. It's causing not only inflation, but potentially a recession. It's why when you go to the grocery store, you're paying more there, too. It's impacting all of the other prices that people are paying too much for, and there's no reason for it. We can produce more of our own. 2 million barrels more a day we could produce if they just got the federal government out of the way, but they won't.
It's fascinating because Boris Johnson's pushing to use some of that wheat that's used for biodegradable fuels to feed people who are starving. And the president's pushing back against it because he wants alternative fuel. He's bragging about Angola solar panels in the time in which gas and oil are $115. Oil's $115 a barrel.
Yeah, and everybody knows, again, this was created by Joe Biden. Kills the Keystone Pipeline. No new pipelines. There are no new LNG export facilities. There's permits sitting on their desk. These are privately funded, multi-billion-dollar projects, create good jobs in America, American energy to help us and our friends around the world, and Biden won't do it.
On January 6th, the big testimony yesterday, what do you know about Cassidy Hutchinson? How much do you believe of her testimony? What do you expect the Republicans to answer back since they're not at the hearings?
Right, and I didn't watch the hearing. I've seen some of the excerpts. It looks like, one more day of salacious headlines, and already today we're seeing Secret Service agents saying it didn't happen. What was testified to in committee yesterday didn't even happen. This is why Pelosi set this up from day one to be a partisan committee, a witch hunt, just to keep going after Donald Trump, not to get facts. She kicked Republicans off the committee. She didn't want the facts. They just want to keep going after Trump. We're focused on what we need to do to get the country back on track, to lower gas prices, to get inflation under control, to secure our border. Yesterday, over 50 people now is the count, are dead that were in that 18-wheeler, just suffocated from heat exhaustion because Joe Biden's got an open border. You just ran the story on the fentanyl deaths. Over 100,000 young people died of fentanyl and other drug overdoses last year because of Biden's open border. They don't want to fix any of this. But the country, you go anywhere. I've been in 3 states the last 2 days. What they're talking about, they're angry about the border being open. They're angry about high gas prices. They're angry about all these things that Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi won't address. We will when we get the majority.
All right. Congressman, thank you very much for stopping by. Good to have you live on the Kirby
Great to
couch.
be live on the Kirby couch again.
Welcome back.
It's really good to see all of you.
I'll see you on
person.
radio soon.
Look
Right?
forward to
About
that,
now.
Brian.
Thank you, sir.